Well, officials at Northwestern University are considering a stronger punishment for their head football coach as more details come out surrounding hazing allegations within the program. Those allegations brought to light in the school's newspaper, the Daily Northwestern. NewsNation's Ryan Bass joins us live with the details on this one. Ryan?
Yeah, Coach Fitzgerald said he wasn't aware of any of these hazing allegations, Brooke, and even the players on the team, they sent out a joint statement to ESPN calling these allegations, quote, exaggerated and twisted. But there is enough disturbing details here for Northwestern's president to come out and say that, maybe he was too lax in his punishment for Coach Fitz. Right now, he's serving a 2-week suspension without pay, but that could certainly be changing soon. Look, the student newspaper at the school spoke with a former football player who called the alleged hazing incidents egregious, vile, and inhumane behavior, a lot of which he detailed as sexualized act. He actually alleged that there was a practice dubbed running used as punishment where a player would be restrained and then dry humped in a dark locker room. There were also claims of players having to strip naked as punishments. Now, a former Illinois Inspector General conducted an independent investigation in December of hazing claims after an anonymous email complaint was sent at the end of the 2022 football season. The findings, they came out on Friday. The investigation found evidence to support that hazing did in fact happen, but said there wasn't enough evidence to believe that the coaching staff knew what was going on. Michael Schill, the school's president, suspended Coach Fitzgerald, but now indicated he could face further punishment. In a letter addressed to the NU community, President Schill said, quote, I believe I may have erred in weighing the appropriate sanction. In determining an appropriate penalty for the head coach, I focused too much on what the report concluded he didn't know and not enough on what he should have known. Now, Schill said he's going to be meeting with university leadership and the board of trustees to talk about next steps. Lawyer Michael Levine, who's handled hazing cases before, said it's a little too late to start saving face for the university.
It's only after the backlash in the media, the strong reporting from the school newspaper, that now the university president says he may have erred. Without that backlash, they would just be trying to brush this under the rug. The coaching staff and the other football staff and others in the athletic department, if they were doing their job, they would have known about this.
Now, we should have more details in the upcoming days in terms of Coach Fitzgerald's job status or if there's going to be further punishment that is handed down. Now, he's been the head coach of this team since 2006. He's a former star linebacker for the Wildcats as well, so he is beloved and adored by this program for his tenure there. While the months-long university investigation didn't really get into any specifics, Brooke, in terms of what happened in terms of hazing, they did say that they interviewed more than 50 people and looked at over hundreds of thousands of emails and player survey data dating back to 2014. So it was some extensive research they went to conclude their findings that hazing did in fact happen.
All right, Ryan Bass, live for us. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.